Richard, look! I found this book on ninjutsu. Soon I'll be a master ninja.
Okay, wait, a book? Here, give me that. You can't become a master by reading a book. Take this and go listen to one of the shows on the Pod Bros Network, like Take Aim Outdoors or Dave's Nerd Compendium, Pencil and Ink Reviews, or one of any of their other amazing shows. All right?
All right. Hey, where are you going with that book?
I will be going to finish this book and destroy it so I can become your teacher.
No!
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I am Shawn.
And we are speaking the language of bromance. I almost couldn't get that out.
You choked on it a little bit. Do we need to go back in time, Richard, and redo this?
So, excellent segue. Shawn wants to talk about time travel today.
I do. So it's something that's always really interested me. You know, like I was a huge fan of Back to the Future, like everybody else. And a couple episodes ago, we talked about the Turk and how we thought Edgar Allan Poe was a time traveler.
Because Edgar Allan Poe played the Turk, right?
No, he was very, very fascinated by the Turk, which was the mechanical chess playing machine.
There really wasn't a mechanical chess playing machine.
Oh, spoilers. They may not have listened.
Well, we're in the future.
Oh, yeah. The future.
In the year 2000.
And I've read H.G. Wells' the Time Machine, which is a great book.
I mean, and I'm a fan of Doctor Who, so
yeah.
Back to the Future. You know, Back to the Future.
Yeah, everybody loves Back to the Future, and really, and it seems like it's a certain like coincidental things of events that caused me to want to talk about time travel, because we talked about it, and then as I was watching some videos to pass some time, there was five proofs that time travel exists.
That it actually exists. So they're saying that it's already been invented. Like, did it get invented now and we've traveled to the past, or it's going to be invented and we're being visited by people from the future?
We're being visited by people from the future now, is the thought.
Okay.
So, I mean, just to kick this off, this conversation, one of the first ones that kind of intrigued me a little bit. So I guess during some excavation of like a Chinese dynasty mass grave, you know, as you're going through that, you find these trinkets and you find like all these things that people buried. Like, and there's a bunch of people buried there, and they didn't really say in the video why.
The slaves. It was probably the slaves when an emperor, I think it was the Chang dynasty, when an emperor was deposed, his servants, the lucky servants, were beheaded, and the unlucky servants were buried alive with the emperor inside his tomb.
Ain't that some bullshit?
Right? Because you're just like, I just shined his shoes. Like, I'm just a guy. Like, I brought him his morning tea, and then these other fuckers show up, and now I'm stuck in this big giant building with a corpse. I mean, granted, these warriors look very beautiful, all terracotta, but I didn't sign up for this shit.
I didn't even want to be here to begin with.
I'm literally a slave.
Trust me, I did not volunteer for this gig. It was forced upon me.
See term slave. Yeah, buried alive.
That's got to be one of the worst ways to go.
Right? Because like at that point you're just questioning, not only are you questioning like your choices that you were given or not given in your life, but at the same time you got to be questioning religion too. See, because, okay, so you're Dave, and you're going through and you're bringing tea and you're doing the laundry and whatever, and these other guys show up and they're like, look, so the emperor's dead and we've killed him, and that's all fine and good, but you know what? He's going on to the next life. He's going on to the afterlife, and he's going to need some help. He's going to need servants. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw you inside this tomb with your boss, so that way you can help him in the next life. And you're Dave, and you're saying, wait, but is that how this works?
Well, it sounded like, were you saying like if they were overturned, then they would do that typically? Or just whenever the like king or whatever they call it?
I think it was both.
It was both.
Yeah.
Because I could see, like, in the other instance, like, let's say somebody, storms the castle, kills the emperor, and as a slave, you're like, oh my god, yes, this guy was a total dick. You know what he made me do? Like, you know how he liked his tea? Not in his mouth. You want to guess where he liked it? Yeah. I didn't want to put it there, but I had to because I'm a slave. But now he's dead, so now I'm free, right?
Right? I get to go, right? I wanted to start a paper mache business. I'm thinking I have this idea where you take paper and you fold it and look, makes a fan. Huh? Isn't that nifty? Awesome idea, right? I'm going to start a whole business like this. What do you mean get in the hole?
Soldier's like, oh, that's a great idea. Go there, all right? It's like, oh, okay, is this where I start my... Oh, you tricked me.
This is where I set up shop. Hey, wait a minute. Don't put that rock there. How am I going to get out? Oh, I get.
Oh, being a slave sucks.
Yeah.
But no, so this place, so Dave gets put into this this hole with the emperor, and he's pacing back and forth. He's like, questioning religion, let's say. And all of a sudden there's this big bolt of light, right? And Richard and Shawn from the year so let me break what actually they found, so that way we can tell what we brought.
Oh, okay. Was that a cell phone?
No, it was just like a small golden watch that was like stopped at like 6 o'clock or something. And it was all like rusted and like old and like it was weathered. It was very weathered.
So it was like say like like a Rolex.
Yeah, and I think on the back it said Swiss or something like that.
But it looked like it had been there for the duration that the dude was buried.
Yeah, like long time. And it was such a small watch. It wasn't one that I recognized.
Okay.
So it didn't look like a modern watch. It just looked like a lot smaller.
Was Mickey Mouse on it?
What's that?
I said, was Mickey Mouse on it?
Maybe. No, there wasn't Mickey Mouse. It was a gold watch.
They make gold Mickey Mouse watches.
It's not real gold, though.
Oh, damn it. I got gypped again.
That guy on the corner that opened his jacket looks so trustworthy, too.
Yeah. I thought he was going to show me his penis, but no, he was selling watches. Imagine my surprise and relief.
Maybe, Richard, this is how the story starts of you and I time traveling. So you bought that Mickey Mouse watch, and like right now, pick it up and rub it. Does the mouse head come off?
Make my head come off.
No, I mean rub it and see. Does it actually come off?
Maybe.
It did, didn't it? Oh my God, Richard! So we are the ones that showed up in this place. So
that is our future. So wait a minute, since we know our future, oh God, paradox.
No, this is how it all started. So we're going through how Shawn and Richard got back in time. This is our Back to the Future episode. So right now, Richard, you bought that watch from that guy. You're like, oh God, don't show me your penis. He's like, no, I'm selling watches. And you're like, man, you look
like, oh, thank God.
You look extremely familiar. You look really familiar. Those sunglasses and that beard. I think I know you from somewhere. And the guy's like, no, you don't. You're like, you really do. And he's like, I got something for you. Follow me, Richard. You'll see where this is going. And he pulls out that watch that you bought. It's not Batman.
Oh.
So he pulls out that watch that you bought, that you looked at. You're like, oh my God, this is the watch I want. How much for it? He's like, no charge. Right? Because you got it for free, right?
Well, I mean, I had to do stuff. But I don't think we should talk about that right now. Well, he was giving me a free watch. I figured he deserved something. I gave him a stranger.
So the guy gives you the watch, and you make that joke, right? And he laughs a very familiar laugh. And after he does this, he looks around embarrassed. Richard, does that guy look a little bit more familiar now?
Oh God, is it me? Did I jerk myself off?
No, I was trying to say it was me from the future.
Oh,
so you just jerked off future Shawn.
Damn. Which brings up interesting point. If future you comes back and to present you, and present you jerks off future you, is that gay or is it just masturbation? It's kind of like if you make a clone. Like if you make a clone and the clone jerks you off, what is that?
I mean, I would imagine it would still be probably pretty homoerotic.
Yeah, probably. Because like think about identical twins. Like if one identical twin jerks off another identical twin, then that's a bit weird. Why do you make me think about these things?
I don't know, Richard. I was trying to make up a funny story, and you went right to jerking your future self off.
You know what? My mind likes to wander.
I think we have deeper issues we need to work out in this show. But no, so it was future me, right? So I came back in time, and I gave you this watch. I'm like, no, take this watch. It's for you. And you're like, oh, God, do I need to give you a hand job for this? And you try to touch my dick. I'm like, no, God, no. But maybe in the future,
like,
we've already...
your future you shows up like, here's a watch. Don't touch my dick.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe at this point, we've already experimented with each other. So maybe it's okay.
Well, if it's future... If it's any further than present you, then yeah, that's been covered.
Well, I'm saying like maybe this was like 60-year-old Shawn. Like this is future Shawn.
Oh God, so you're old.
Yeah,
I want to jerk off an old dude.
It's old Shawn Dick. It was OSD.
So with you and the goddamn acronym.
I don't know. I hate acronyms in real life, but I love them for our show. So Richard, you get this watch, right? And at some point, since we're discussing this now, the next time we're together, we're like, well, the next time we're together, like, hey, should I jerk you off? I'm like, no, God, no, not yet.
I don't have a watch. Like you're gonna come over and visit, and then it's gonna be, oh God, you don't have a watch on you right now to give me, do you? He's like, and then you're like, no, why? I'm like, good, because like the kids are here, and I just don't know how I would explain that.
The wife is already judging our friendship, and I think if we take this a step further, it's not going to look good. So the next time we're together, we see this watch, and like we come together and we're looking at it, and right when we both touch it, bolt of lightning, lights flashing all over the place, wind blowing our hair, very much like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Excellent.
Yeah. You remember when they got in the phone booth and they go all over and they go back in time to go see Socrates and Napoleon and Lincoln?
Socrates?
That's what they called him. They called him Socrates.
I know.
So we both touch at the same time. The electric goes through us and all this stuff. And we land. Well, we'll start here. We'll probably divert. But at some point when this happens, we land in this Chinese like
tomb.
Burial place where like
right
what do we call him, Dan or Dave where Dave has just been locked in and we show up because that's what Dave is seeing. He's walking around thinking of all this religion crap and like he's like just so upset, and all of a sudden this ball of lightning, and who shows up? Richard and Shawn
with the watch. So the watch is our vehicle for time travel.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, nice. Dave's like, hey, nice watch. And then we're like, you're not jerking us off.
Well, we don't speak Chinese, so we're very confused at this point.
Yeah, good point.
And I probably make the joke like, Richard, where are we?
What's the joke?
I guess there wasn't one, but
like the birthplace of General So.
Richard or Shawn, that's very inappropriate. What?
I'm just saying that's where he's from, right? I love his chicken. Let's talk to this guy. Do you have any egg rolls for me and my friend?
Crab Ragoon. Crab. And the guy, speaks back, Crab Ragoon. Yeah. Do you have any? And he just punches me.
Yeah.
I come back, hold my eye. Richard, they don't have any Crab Ragoon.
He's so angry.
I think he said something about my mother. Oh God, my mom's not alive right now. But so, I mean, let's say that we'll bookmark this. So, this is the first place we show up, but we can't lose the watch here. Because if we lose the watch there, then we're done.
Yeah.
So as I'm walking back and we figure this out, we touch the watch again, lightning, bolts of light all over the place. And where's the next place we would want to end up, Richard? Where's the next place you think we should end up on this time-traveling adventure we'd be going on?
I want to go to... Can we go to Rome? I always wanted to go to Rome.
Yeah, sure. Now we're in Rome, Richard. What year are we in Rome?
The height of the Roman Empire.
So Caesar's there? And I asked for salad?
Yeah. We're like, oh... First we had Chinese, and now it's Caesar salad.
So that's probably what happens. That's why we have all these foods, is because we're going around being like, we want crab ragoon, we want Caesar salad.
We're just we're just looking for lunch.
And all these things didn't exist before, so now they are as we're telling them this.
Oh my God. We would invent modern cuisine because we're time traveling just looking for something to eat.
So this is our bootstrap paradox.
Oh, it is. It really is. Like, oh, nobody here's ever heard of Caesar salad. Well, first we need some romaine lettuce, huh, guys? I don't speak Latin. Romaine lettuce.
All right, then we got to take some fish and dice them up, put them in a blender. Oh God, they don't have blenders, Richard. What do we do?
Hit it really hard.
I'm looking at my phone trying to figure out how to Google it.
It doesn't work here.
Rome just gets shitty service, Richard.
Oh.
We would definitely take a bunch of pictures, though.
Totally. Like me with a bunch of Legionnaires. Or like in the gladiator pit.
You and I are in there fighting, and it just becomes a fist, like a hand fight, a slap fight.
And then we're like, quick selfie in the gladiator pit. That's a lion.
Hey, Richard, why is Caesar doing a thumbs down? I didn't think we were that bad. Oh God, what is that? It's a
No.
Touch the watch. Touch the watch.
We love Rome. Rome is great. We love Caesar salad, and we love Christians, right? No, bad. Oh, not them. Okay. We like Zeus, right? You guys are Zeus, right? No Zeus. Shit, we're dead.
All right, touch the watch.
Where are we going next?
Oh, so where would I want to go on this adventure? Okay, so Richard, so we're in Rome, so we got to go to someplace a little bit more modern. Richard, you and I, we land on the Titanic.
Why do you want to land on the Titanic?
Because, Richard, we are going to the front of the boat, and you are holding me with my arms out.
I'm just saying, like, as far as places that you know something bad's gonna happen, like Titanic would be at the top of that list.
If you and I got a selfie on the front of the Titanic doing the King of the World, like that wins the internet.
As long as we're still docked, like let's take all the pictures you damn well please. But if we're out, if the watch like flashes and we're on a boat and we're on the Titanic and it's the middle of the night, I'm sorry, Shawn, like we're not staying. Like, I don't care how bad you want the picture, we're not staying.
You're like, I'm touching the watch, Shawn. I'm giving you count of 5. And you're going down with the boat. And I know how scared of the ocean you are.
Yeah, Leo is not here.
So this is what happened, Rich. This is what happens, Richard. So
okay.
It's the night the Titanic hits the iceberg, right? And so you and I are arguing because I want a King of the World picture. Because what happened is we got there like right as the sun was going down, and you didn't get a very good picture because you didn't listen. You're like, no, I gotta leave. I'm like, no, just one picture. No.
Yeah, I left the flash off.
So we're sitting there underneath the crow's nest where the people are supposed to be watching, and we're arguing. We're having like a loud argument, and then we start like a semi-homoerotic wrestling match. Because time travel, I think, can make you a little testy, right?
Right. Okay. So the guys are up in the in the cabin, and they're looking out the window like, hey, there's 2 guys fighting on deck. And then everybody's staring at the 2 of us fighting, and they don't see the giant fucking iceberg that they crash into.
They're like, are those 2 fighting, or are they about to make love? I can't quite tell.
Oh, my God.
He's like, 2 men can't make love. It's like, listen, kid, you haven't been on the ocean long enough.
Yeah.
2 guys can totally make love.
Just watch.
Have you ever been on a 3-month tour with no women on board? Trust me.
Yeah, stare at it. Don't look away. Don't be afraid.
And all of a sudden they hear,
what was that?
iceberg straight ahead.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Richard, we fucked up.
This is your fault.
No, it's your fault.
Your fault. Give it a watch.
And then so we touch it, and I don't get my picture, my King of the World picture, because you had to be a jerk, and we caused the sinking of the iceberg.
There's just a bunch of pictures of us wrestling on a boat, and then there's a picture of a giant iceberg in the background.
Well, that's always the thing too. So, and another thing got me thinking about this is there's a new TV show where these 3 people get in a time machine. Of course, in the promo, they're walking by like Lincoln as he goes into the Ford Theater, but they can't stop it because they can't like alter any events, like big events.
No, that's the rule. You can't alter. There are certain things. This is classic Doctor Who right here. There are fixed points in time, and if you fuck with those, then bad shit happens. Always.
And I think that's just a writer's out, because it's like, oh, well, you can't stop the Titanic from hitting an iceberg, but you can save this kid from getting run over by a car. Like it seems like, either one's gonna change time very significantly. Like I guess I'd believe like the butterfly effect is, pretty big. You know, like you save that kid and maybe, you know, maybe he finds a cure for cancer.
Okay, your opinion of Ashton Kutcher aside, like there's certain pivotal moments in history that have big ripples, and then there's other things that have small ripples. And the trick with time travel, from the way I get, the trick with time travel is you have to, you know, navigate and understand what's a big ripple and what's a small ripple. Hero in Heroes did that. Like, he was constantly flipping back and forth in time, like trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
And he'd do something, and then other shit would fuck up, and then he'd have to go fix that. There was an episode of Star Trek Voyager where the crew found this time ship. It was there was these people on this time ship, and they would go to planets and basically erase the entire history of a species. And when they did that, they would calculate how that would affect timelines. And they were trying to create a timeline. I guess apparently what had happened was there was something where their species was wiped out, and it was the fault of the captain of this time ship. And so he's trying to restore this original timeline. And so he's constantly going through and wiping out these species, basically committing genocide to try to restore the original timeline. And so they would calculate how much of the timeline would be restored in a percentage. And at the end, basically what ended up happening is Voyager destroyed the time ship, and that's what restored the timeline. But then it just the cycle would repeat itself because it would go back to the point before the time ship was created.
Yeah. I guess that's my point, is like, even like, yeah, I guess there would be big events that would be because like another thing that got me thinking about this before we started was like you watched Quantum Leap, right?
I did not watch Quantum Leap.
How the hell did you not watch Quantum Leap?
I had a friend that was really, really into it, and at the time, like, it just seemed like one of those kind of CBS shows that I would just like, I just don't want to.
Oh man, it was such a good show. I mean, it was basically a procedural, but he was in different bodies, is all it really was.
Yeah, it seemed a bit hokey to me. Like, I get it; it was the '90s or whatever, and things were a bit hokey, but I don't know. Like, I can't go back and it's not like I can go back and watch them now. I mean, even if I could, I doubt those shows would hold up. I tried watching Saved by the Bell, like rewatching Saved by the Bell. Oh my God, that's fucking brutal.
I've rewatched Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince does hold up, I would say, of the 90s shows.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, maybe not so much with like the clothes and
the music and clothes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's you can tell that's dated.
But yeah, oh my God. I remember I used to love Saved by the Bell when I was a kid. And it was probably like a month ago. I tried watching. I watched one episode and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this to myself.
But I think Quantum Leap could kind of hold up because it's a person from the future going back in these time periods. So you're not watching it as like, you're like, at least the way I think of it, when you're watching like Saved by the Bell or Fresh Prince, you're watching it like in real time, like you're thinking of it as like happening in this moment. And I can see like the 90s and stuff like that taking you out. But when you're watching Quantum Leap, they're going back in time. So you're watching this from the perspective of somebody who knows what the 60s is, if that makes sense. But I was thinking, like, so in that show, they always talked about how he never really wanted to alter like big events like that. Like, he always saved like individual people, but never did anything like huge.
Right.
You know, like he didn't like save people. And I guess he couldn't go back in time past his lifetime. So whatever day he was born, he could only go back that far.
Okay.
Was kind of the rules. But they had like a JFK episode where he was Lee Harvey Oswald, and he was trying to stop himself from shooting the president.
Uh-huh.
And so like in that, they were trying to like stop something big from happening.
Huh. Did you ever, there was a show I just watched, probably like 3 or 4 months ago, called 11/22/08.
Oh, with Franco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see
Wasn't
that.
bad. Based on an old Stephen King story.
Yeah, it was like one he wrote, I think, in the 2000s, somewhere in there, like between 2000 and
Yeah,
2010.
where he goes back in time and he's on this mission to stop Lee Harvey Oswald from assassinating JFK. I don't want to spoil it, what happens, but
I'm just saying, like, an event like that, yeah, it's a big event, but
I would say that story also illustrates that you can't you can, but you shouldn't change major events.
But see, I think major events is very depending on who's thinking.
Subjective?
Yeah, it's very subjective because, like I said, if you save this person who is quote unquote a nobody, well, maybe they grow up to be a dictator, or maybe they grow up to be a person that cures cancer and saves other lives that now those lives who were supposed to be gone are now changing how. I mean, like I said, the butterfly effect I think is a real thing because saving one person, it may not in that moment, that one person, but they're going to have influences across, their lifetime that they may not have had at that point.
That's true. But I think you're going off you're going off what your mom told you, that we're all special and that we're all gentle, unique snowflakes.
Well, we are. No, I think like saving like JFK would be something that the impact of that would be felt within 4 years of that event. So that timeline for 4 years would be completely like different. But saving
then that 4 years different would make 10 years way different. Like it skews.
Yeah, it'd skew a lot bigger, I think. But saving one person, it would take more time. But so many lives are slowly going to be affected. Again, the butterfly effect. It's a small wave here that turns into a tsunami over here.
See, but I don't think that. I think that it's not gonna. I think that some people are not going to create as wide a deviance as you think. Like I kind of put it on the analogy of trying to It's like trying to corral a kitten. It doesn't want to. A kitten doesn't want to walk in a straight line. It wants to veer off one way or another. But say you have a piece of cardboard and you're trying to kind of like shuffle it back into its line, and so it's gonna like I mean, to quote Doctor Who, it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's gonna skew one way or the other, but it's not gonna take a hard left as it would if you changed a pivotal event.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I still feel like there'd be quite a bit of influence there. But anyway, I feel like this is the argument we would be having on the Titanic. Like, I'd be saying, like, we need to warn them about the iceberg. And you're like, no, we can't because of Doctor Who. I'll be like, that was a TV show. We need to save Leo and his wife. Or as Leo and his woman. And you're like, Shawn, that was a terrible movie. I was like,
that was a terrible movie. And also not real.
It's not a terrible movie.
Meanwhile, Doctor Who is actually giving you some truth. And what are you doing? You want to take pictures on the fucking front of the boat.
Well, Richard, that's the first place I want to take a picture. Then I want to find the car where Leo and his lady get busy. And I want to recreate that scene.
There's no diamond necklace here.
There is.
You are not drawing me like one of your French girls.
And so we're having this argument, and that's what causes us to fight. Because I'm like, well, first off, I want that picture, then this picture. And you're ruining every single one of these for me, Richard. Listen, Richard, this is the place I picked. I think whenever we held the bracelet or the watch, it found deep in our hearts where we wanted to go. And I want to go where the heart of the ocean is. And it took us here.
We went to Rome, and you knocked over that torch and set the entire town on fire. And now we're here, and you want to talk to these people about the iceberg. And that's not how this works.
You son of a bitch. You said you wouldn't talk about that damn fire again.
There was a guy standing in the middle of the fucking town square playing a fiddle.
So then we start fighting, and that's when like you knock the watch out of one of our hands, and it slides like to the edge of the boat. And we're like, ugh!
Yeah, because I'm not dying on this boat with you.
I'm not letting you on that damn piece of floating wood.
I am not letting you on that door.
I don't care if we've done the math. We know she could have let him on there. I'm not. I'm going to push your ass in that water.
Yeah, we are.
You know what's in that water, Shawn? Big ass fish. Big ass fish that'll eat you if that bracelet falls in the water.
Go get it.
Okay. In the meantime, iceberg straight ahead. Cuts a hole in the boat.
Yeah. Then there's guys. There's guys, standing there playing music. And it's like, what is it with tragedy? And everybody wants to play a fucking violin.
Cheer up, everybody.
Rome's on fire and Nero's playing a fiddle. The Titanic's going down and these guys want to have a symphony. Hey, get on a lifeboat.
Yeah. We go around telling them to make sure they fill the lifeboats up all the way.
It's not, heroic. Just get on the boat. Play your music on the boat. The instruments are portable.
Wouldn't you feel like a horrible human being once you like leap out of there? I don't know. I guess would you? Well,
why? Because all those people died?
I guess if we caused it, then I would feel like a horrible human being. But, if we didn't technically cause it.
Well, if we technically caused it, then the question is, Shawn, were we technically supposed to cause it?
I don't know. Or maybe if we never found that, if I never went back in time and gave you that damn watch, maybe the Titanic would still have been around.
I feel like this show's going to hurt my head because we're going to get in, because time travel always fucks everything up.
Oh, it always.
You ever seen shows where they try to introduce time travel and then it just fucks the whole show sideways?
They go downhill quick. I remember I was dating this girl and like, I understand the Back to the Future timelines, right? Marty goes back in time, he nabs that book, and then he loses it, and Biff steals it. Like, okay, that's why the timelines are different.
Right.
I don't remember. It was some Denzel Washington movie where he was able to go back in time. It was a really weird movie. Didn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But the girl I was dating at the time, he goes back in time where he's actually there. So there's two of them, right?
Okay.
And she couldn't process it in her head why there was two of them. She's like, no, but he's right there. Why is he there too? I'm like, well, that's him from the future, and he went back in time. And so now he's with his past self. And she's like, well, no, that's him now. He went to the future and came back. So there should just be him. And somehow like future him went back in time, did something and died, like saving the world or saving the city. So then past him lived. So basically he created a new timeline where he lived and never went back in time at all, right?
Yeah, see, when it comes to time travel, like I kind of, anything that involves time travel, I try to wait for somebody's recommendation on time when it comes to shit like that. I'll give you an example. Have you seen Looper?
Yeah, Looper's a great movie. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I have not seen Looper because it dealt with time travel, and I was kind of waiting for someone to be like, hey, you should check out Looper because it's a pretty smart, because you have to like it's a needle to thread once you throw time travel in there.
Yeah, it's a real interesting concept because I mean, the gist of it is basically you're an assassin in the past, and what happens is they send people back in the past, like mobs and crime families and organized crime, and you're basically an assassin. So they show up somewhere when they're supposed to. You flip off the hood and you shoot them, and then you burn the body, and magically you get money at your house. And it's all covered because it's the person just disappears from the future, right? Like people know time travel exists, but it's illegal, so nobody technically is supposed to do it. But these crime families do it, and this is all in the trailer, so this isn't really spoilery. But when you're at some point, you will kill future you. Like you will show up, it's you from the future, and you kill that person. And then you no longer have to do your job. Basically, that's you ending your job.
Oh, I see.
But at some point in the future, like, so how fucked up is that? Because you're going to know how old you are at that point.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, shit, that's 60-year-old me. Man, when I turn 60, I'm going to die, apparently. And it was really well handled. Like, it was a good movie. Like,
what's another example? The Flash. Okay, I'm okay with The Flash on time travel because they kind of introduce time travel, like, early on. And so they kind of weave time travel into the show, and then it's a lot more palatable to take. I can't think of an example right now, but I know there's shows that like they start out doing one thing and then they throw time travel in the mix, and then it just fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah, I mean you have to have a thing kind of like Quantum Leap where he's going back and changing it, but it's small ripple effects. And they basically tell you at the end of each episode, when he saves somebody or does something, like Sam will tell him, it's like, or yeah, it's Sam, I think. No, Sam's the guy who's leaping.
Sam's the guy who's leaping, and then there's the other guy that has the cell phone.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. What his name?
I can't think of what. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch the show.
Fuck, I need to watch that show again. But he basically tells him like, oh, since we saved this person, here's what happened. Here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Right.
And so it's kind of cool.
And the real like the Flash is really going to do time travel this episode or this season.
Well, it's the whole Flashpoint thing, which
this season's Flashpoint.
to me it seems like a lot of the comic book ones. What they do is they do those runs of a Flashpoint, and some TV shows do this too. Like I guess Back to the Future kind of did this. Like they go back in time, do something, reset the timeline, and screw it up, and they're like, oh shit, now we got to go back in time again, undo what we did so that we can fix it.
Right.
And usually that second time after they fix it, like it's still tweaked a little bit, but not a ton. It's kind of the same, but everybody's in the better.
Phew.
Oh man, time travel is fun though because it makes things a lot of really messy, but you can easily like fix it by saying, oh well, we gotta go back in time and fix it.
Right.
One thing that's not touched on too much though is time traveling to the future.
Yes. Now, from what I understand, in terms of actual real hard science, that it's actually more plausible for us to travel into the future than it is into the past. And it has to do with gravity and black holes and the four dimensions. Because we exist in, we as human beings exist in four dimensions. We exist on a vertical plane, on a horizontal plane, on a depth plane, and we exist in time. But time only moves forward. So the hard science is through manipulation of gravity that you could actually dilate time, where time, like basically, like think of it like you're creating a bubble and you're inside the bubble. Everything outside the bubble is moving a lot faster than you inside the bubble. So it's not really that you're traveling into the future. It's that you're in a bubble where time moves slower.
So I guess I can see future travel. So I'm thinking. So there's obviously like a time machine that takes you there right away, right? You step in the machine, it takes you to the future.
Well, they say that the most practical way to do it would be at the center of our galaxy is a giant like neutron star. So if we figured out a way to fly a spaceship at a exorbitant amount of speed, I think basically either at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light, and we were able to fly it close enough to this star that the gravity that this star would give off is what would cause time to slow down for us inside the ship.
So you would go into like Interstellar and you would see yourself 10 years later through a bookcase.
Maybe.
And you'd be Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And I'm on this ship. Everybody gets older and I stay the same age. But no, so I was thinking like technically this wouldn't be like machine time travel, but what if we figured out how to freeze people and unthaw them like 30 years in the future? Like that's technically time travel to me in that case. Like you can only go forward, you can't go back, but that's
like
time
Futurama
travel.
where everybody's head's in a jar?
Yeah, kind of, except it's more of the other guy, the one who's kind of the main character. He accidentally got frozen and unthawed, 300 years in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing that can happen is, you get frozen and something happens where they can never unthaw you because, society collapses.
I love that show.
That's a good show.
It was honestly one of the most underrated cartoons ever.
Is it still on or did it finally get canceled? Because I know it went to Comedy Central.
I was going to say it was on Fox and then it got canceled. It went to Comedy Central. I think it got canceled on Comedy Central. But god damn, that was one of the smartest fucking shows on television.
But I guess in your mind, would you technically call that time travel?
If you cryogenically froze yourself?
Yeah, and you unthawed.
I guess for you, yeah. I mean, technically, it's not, I don't think it falls under the, hard definition of time travel, but for you, it I guess it would be. But I mean, so anything that involves you getting cryogenic, like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
I guess that's technically time travel. Travel into a future run by apes where man is on the menu.
Where somehow the women are still like shaven and very attractive.
Yeah. And thank God.
Yeah. Woo, we saved the razors. Thank God.
Woo. I was worried. They fucked up the Statue of Liberty, but thank God the Schick factory's still in play.
So let's say we have this watch. So we've traveled to these 3 different places. Now let's say we're going to take us some us time. So, we're going to travel back to young us, and we're going to travel to future us. Maybe we can't interact with ourselves, or maybe we can. It's up to you.
I want to see future us.
Oh, I would love to see future us. We show up at I don't know, maybe we find where one of us lives, and we show up. It's like, that's weird. There's no wives here, and we're in the same house. But maybe we came when the wives decided to go on a trip, right?
Right.
And we're watching outside the window, and it's like, all right, well, okay, so I guess future Richard and Shawn are gonna have dinner. Why is Richard lighting a candle? Oh God.
No. Oh, it happened.
Don't kiss him. Don't. Oh.
Oh, I don't like this future.
You look over and I'm crying. It's like, it's okay, Shawn. Now that we've seen it, we can avoid it. I'm like, no, it's so goddamn beautiful. You're like, wait, what?
Oh, no, bad.
I go in for the slow kiss.
This isn't how it starts.
You smack me.
Oh God, we created our own homosexuality. They did it. They really did it.
No, so I guess what would you want to see of future Shawn and Richard?
I don't know. Like, hopefully, I'm not. Worst case scenario is we show up and there's 2 guys all disheveled shuffling along a road, and they're holding up a sign that says "We'll podcast for food." Damn it.
Well, at least we made it this far.
Where do they plug their equipment in at?
Oh God, they're using just a box. It's a toilet bowl roll. It's a toilet roll. What's up, everybody? This is Richard. This is Shawn. They didn't even change up the intro at all.
Oh my God.
I think the worst case scenario.
We're gonna do the terrible things that happened to us today draft. No, my first round pick is the rat that ate my lunch. Joke's on him, though, because I had rat for dinner.
My number 1 pick is Steve the hobo who stole my pillow. So I guess the worst case scenario, maybe this is what we'd see. It's like a Christmas story. We go and it's like you walk up and somehow I walk out of my house, my future house, and I catch sight of you. I'm like, Richard, you son of a bitch. I told you I never wanted to see your face again. And you're like,
what happened?
Oh God. And you find it we do this whole elaborate research. We go to see future Richard, and he does the same thing to me. And then somehow we talk to our future wives, man, you look really young. You don't look fat like you did, Shawn. I'm like, oh, I've been working out. And we find out somehow we had this huge falling out, right? We did a podcast and we did a draft, and you stole every single one of my picks. And I got real testy about it. And you're like, dude, it's just a draft. I said, fuck you, it's life. And then our show ended.
Fuck you, it's life.
So we have this huge falling out, right? And we're not talking anymore. The show's stopped for 3 years, but we go back and we see that the episodes are still up there. So somebody is still keeping the show alive. And so we go through this whole, Back to the Future, getting mom and dad together, except it's in the future. We're getting Shawn and Richard back together.
Oh my God, yes. It's like Back to the Future, except it's for dudes.
Yeah, and it's in the future, not the past.
Oh.
What we do is we'd write draft ideas from ourselves. You'd write to me, here's my draft idea, and I'd write to me, this is my draft idea. And we'd be meet on the corner of Bromance Drive. You'll know where that is.
Yeah. Would you try it? Would you try and sleep with future Tiffany?
Oh yeah, I would totally.
Would that be cheating?
I don't. Well, let's ask this question. Let's say you're future Richard, and past Richard comes up and has sex with your wife. Would you be jealous or upset?
No,
because I guess it technically already happened for you. So you'd be like, hey, I guess it's my turn again.
Yeah,
I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd totally be okay with it. Okay, better question. Would future Shawn and present Shawn have a threesome?
Probably not. I don't know if Tiffany would be into that.
If she was, I'd be down.
You'd be sitting there with popcorn watching. Do it, guys.
Well, no. I'm saying if future me showed up and Amanda was like, hey, let's have a threesome, you, me, and future Richard, and I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Finish up and smack past Richard on the ass.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. This happened before. I was
Like, next time, it's going to be me and you and future Amanda.
Remember this moment. Look at me in the eyes. Remember this moment.
So then I'll show back up in the present, and I'll be like, Amanda, you got to come with me. Where? Back to the future. I've got a 3-way planned.
Well, I was thinking, like, after this, like, so future Rich, future Amanda, past Amanda are all in the back, like, porch smoking cigarettes. Or I guess they'd probably have to vape if it's in the future, because I'm sure cigarettes will be outlawed at this point.
Probably. Bastards. You know, this whole thing was based on a list, and I think we only went through the first point.
Basically, yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. So, like, the whole idea, well, and it's always one of those things, like, would you ever, and this is, I guess, a little serious, but if you could go in the past,
Okay.
or even the future, would you want to know much about what's happened? Like, would you,
in general or about me specifically?
about you specifically? And I guess, I mean, in general, maybe other information. Like, I think I'd be more open to knowing other events that happen if I went to, like, the future. Like, oh, these teams won this championship, or this event happened, or, this thing happened, or this thing happened. I don't know if I'd want to know about what happened to me.
Is it because you're afraid if you know, then it would change?
Maybe I'd be too depressed about it, or it's kind of like the ending of Back to the Future. It's like, well, your future is, up to you. And I guess I might be too nervous if I know at that point, then it's all predestined, and I'm not very much of a predestined person.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But there's benefit.
I think I would chalk it up to I wouldn't mind knowing, and I think the reason for that is because, like you said, I'm not a firm believer in predestination either. So I feel like that is a possible future for me. Okay, since I know what my future is, then I have the potential to change or not change it. And so my destiny is still squarely in my hands.
Yeah. I mean, you'd almost get like a do-over. So if future years like, listen, I did this and it really wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
You could go back and be like, okay, well, I'm going to try and change that and see what happens. Maybe I make it worse. Maybe I make it better.
Yeah. That whole podcasting thing with Shawn, just stop. Just abruptly stop.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. I'm going to let you know, there's a draft that you guys do. So there's two things you can do if you pass Richard. PR, this is what you can do. It's like, wait, you're doing acronyms too, future Richard?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Shawn was on to something way back when. I don't know why. These acronyms just took off. So like, listen here, PR. There's two things you can do. Either one, don't do the snack cake draft. Just trust me. The snack cake draft is where it goes downhill.
And then I'm like, oh, that's the next one we have planned.
Or two, you do the snack cake draft, and your life is going to be so much better. Red pill or white pill, Richard? Which one do you want?
Yeah. Also, pick hostess first.
Here's the 7 picks you want.
Hello, snack cake.
But yeah, and then like going past, so I guess this would be like the future you. If you could go in the past, like, would you want to? And that's what's scary. I think more scary from like the future you going back, because
are you afraid of future you coming back to tell present you, like he sits you down and he's like, I have to tell you about what the fuck happens.
Don't get a sex change. Terrible idea.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Maybe
you
I
will
should, though. Oh, damn it.
Now I am. Son of a bitch.
This is all my fault.
But I mean, like, future you going back, like, you probably would think of all the bad things that you'd want to change. Because you wouldn't want to say the good things, because you wouldn't want to ruin the good things. Because I think...
Or you would say the good things because if you know, like, okay, say, hey, okay, so future Shawn shows up and tells current Shawn, hey, I sold all my possessions and I sold my house and I put everything into making this movie and it made me a millionaire.
Or, Shawn, I sold everything. I made this movie and then Tiffany left me because I did it without her permission. And now I live in a cardboard box.
But I'm saying, like, what if, like, okay, future you shows up and gives you this crazy radical idea and promises it'll work because it's future you.
I think at that point, so if future me came back and said, listen, zombie bears, just listen to me. The way it is now, get a second loan on the house, sell all your stuff, make that movie. And trust me, it's all going to work out.
Right.
I mean, at that point, if it's future you, unless future me is a dick, like it's future Shawn Dick, it's FSD.
Like,
it's future Shawn
Are
Dick.
you wearing an evil beard? Are you evil Shawn?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, man, your beard's really long. Well, I have a beard now, so I may not think about it until after the fact. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess if it'd help you take that leap of faith of future you saying like, listen, this is the good idea. You should do this.
Right.
I think I'd still be a little bit nervous about it, but I mean, it'd be like if you went to the future and saw that. Oh, I always thought like the greatest thing from going back to Futurama was the what if machine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a huge like always kind of like pondering. It's like, and maybe Back to the Future is what does this, but thinking like, oh, if I would have went left instead of right, what could have been or what could have happened?
Exactly.
And so like it'd almost be like having that machine, like future you's like, oh, if you take left here and make this movie, you know, everything you want to do is going to happen by the time you're 35.
Right.
But you know, with a what if machine, it's a little bit more of because future you would have had to have that same conversation with, you know, when it was past him. Because if it didn't happen, he wouldn't know that. He couldn't say, sell all your shit and you'll be fine.
Right. So, fucking time travel.
So, I'm putting everything on Craigslist right now. So, if you guys want to pitch in, Zombie Bears 2018.
What? This has been a very wibbly wobbly timey wimey episode.
Yeah, but I guess to tie it back to what we first originally started. So, you and I, you know, we get on the Titanic.
You mean to loop it around?
Yeah, let's loop this back around. So you and I, you know, we are on Titanic, then we go to future me, past me, and at some point we get back to where we are now, and you're like, oh God, walking out my door, it's like, oh, I forgot I have the watch in my hand, and then you disappear. Like the last juice is used just on you. And where do you end up? You end up back with Dave, back in that Chinese emperor's tomb.
Yeah.
With no juice in the watch.
Right. And he's like, I made egg rolls.
And so somehow.
Out of dirt.
Yeah.
That's all I have in here.
You're like, oh, I'm going to die here. And you're writing like LOB Army and like all kinds of things. Like, well, if I'm going to die here, I need to get good press. And
in 2,000 years, this is going to rock.
And then like, so our show ends at that point because you disappear and you never come back. So for years, I spend my life trying to figure out how to get that watch back. And so 80-year-old Shawn time travels back to now, puts on an overcoat, finds you on the streets of LOB Bromance Avenue. I'm like, hey, you want to see something cool? And flip it open, and that's where you get the watch. That's where it all starts.
Wait a minute, how did you get a watch?
Well, I don't know. That's the time travel paradox. Somehow I did.
Would you build the watch?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm the one that built it.
Maybe you build the watch and it's the only watch.
And I go back in time.
You can't go back to where I am because two watches can't exist in the same space-time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to give it to you to figure out to right the wrongs that I made, and you hope that each time the next leap will be the leap home.
Oh my God.
I love it so much. All right. Well, I guess, do you have any Richard's closing thoughts on our time traveling episode?
I honestly, I don't, because I don't even know. Well, okay. Time travel is a fickle thing. And while there are merits, there's a dark side. And if someone does figure out, I'll tell you what, if someone on the internet, I'm putting this out online, if someone has figured out time travel, I need them to show up. Right now, it is 10:26 p.m. Central Time in 2016.
What's the date? You got to share the date.
It's the 15th of September, 2016, 10:26 p.m. If somebody has figured out time travel, I need them to show up right now. Is there anybody at your house?
Just the guy that's been here for the last hour.
Who's that guy?
It looks like me. It's the only person that listens to the show in the future. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I will do a little bit of housekeeping.
Before you get to that, I feel like we need to note we have some really awesome additions to our website, languageofbromance.com.
Yeah, we haven't shared this on our show. We do on our Twitter and Facebook, but we have reached out to the community of the LOB Army, and we have found 2, and counting Richard as well, correspondents for our LOB Army intelligent reports. We have the 12th level intellect, Brendan, coming at you with all kinds of comic information. And then we have Ian Wells presenting all kinds of awesome content. And what else do we have on there? Is there anybody else that's doing anything awesome on there, Richard?
No, nobody of interest.
Oh, stop it. Richard, yours truly here, is giving you Richard's Rants. And these are coming out weekly. So on Tuesday, you have Richard's Rants. On Wednesday, you have Thoughts from a 12th Level Intellect. And on Thursdays, you have Ian Wells Presents. It's on our website. You just go to the website. It's right there at the top. It's the LOB Army Intelligent Reports. We put that on our Facebook and Twitter whenever those come out as well. We've been doing this for like 10 weeks. So there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah. They're all short little blips, but they're super interesting, packed full of if I'll tell you what, people that aren't avid comic book readers, I would say definitely check out Ian Wells because he really knows his shit. And the same thing with Brendan. Brendan does a lot of things involving comics too. Brendan really knows, like I would say both these guys probably know more about comics. They definitely know more about comics than I do, and I like that. I like going to informed people to get informed opinions about things.
Yeah, we're always looking for a few more, so if you are interested in being an LOB Army correspondent, shoot us an email, and we'll work out some kind of trial run for you and figure out if it'll work out for us.
Yes.
So I will go through the normal spiel. So visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe and leave a review on Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network,
the podcast site on the internet that is all about the future.
The best podcast site on the internet here and now and forever.
Oh, gold.
Yeah.
All right. And if you want to join our Patreon, go to www.patreon.com/languageofbromance. We have a bunch of different LOB Army levels. So it's super cheap too. It's like the lowest one I think is like 25 cents a week. So basically, if you like this episode or any of our episodes, it's 25 cents an episode.
That's a quarter.
And it's always going to be free, but that's just a nice little way for to chip in and say, hey, you guys are doing a good job.
Oh, exactly. But this isn't, here's the paywall. This is, hey, we do this and tips appreciated. That's what it is. It's our tip jar.
And all that stuff most of that stuff is going to kind of keeping the lights on and running too, so.
You have lights on?
No, I podcast in the dark.
Oh, me too.
All right. Well, is there anything else before I close her out?
No.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
Or did we eat the beaver?
Oh, fuck.
Or will we eat the beaver?
Wait, Rich, shit. I forgot to hit record.
Oh.
All right. So, Shawn, in the future, will you go in the past and hit record and make sure I get all this? Oh, look, it did record. Sweet.
Do it now. Hang on. There's a knock at the door. It's me. I look terrible.